Hi everyone and welcome to our topic which is all about the international trade policy. So first, let's have an overview of the trade policy instruments. So dito class, no, dinedefine natin yung trade policy as a tool na ginagamit ng government para i-regulate yung trade, no, between the nations, no. And actually, no, these instruments pwede siyang mag-promote, no, ng trade or pwedeng mag-restrict ng trade. So what are the key instruments of the trade policy instruments? So pag-uusapan pa rin naman natin to in a detailed perspective, pero yung tariffs, ito yung mga tax, no, na inimpose sa imported goods. Yung quotas are the limits, no, dun sa pwede mong i-import. Also, yung subsidies, ito yung binibigay na financial assistance, no, ng government dun sa mga domestic industries para syempre, no, kaya nitong maging competitive, no, to lower the price and for them to have a better profit. And then of course, yung export control kung saan ito yung restriction on export on certain goods. And of course, meron din tayong tinatawag na non-tariff barriers. Ito yung mga measures or regulatory measures, mga provisions sa batas, no, na nagre-restrict ng import such as standards and licensing, no? Like sa Food and Drug Administration, may mga licensing doon. And examples are the imposition of tariffs on steel imports by US, no, to protect domestic steel industry kasi they are a manufacturer of steel. That's why for them to protect their domestic steel industry, kailangan nila magbigay ng tariff doon sa pumapasok na imported steel. So the next one is the tariffs and quotas, no. So again, tariff is a tax na ini-impose sa imported goods, no. Usually, it protect the domestic industries from foreign competition or generate government revenue, okay? So foreign competition meaning na yun nga may mga nag-export going to their country, so para mas magmahal yung item na yon, kailangan lagyan nila ng mas mahal na tariff. On the other hand, no, yung paglalagay din ng tariff lalo na kung for example, no, yung mga government uh, control corporation, nakakatulong yon, no, nang sa ganun mas umangat yung mga services or product ng GOCCs. So what are the effects, no? Kasi pag tariffs raise the price of imported goods, no, leading to reduced import levels. So dahil doon, higher prices for consumers and increased revenue for government. So in terms of quota, no, ito naman yung limit ng specific good that can be import. So ang effects niya, no, syempre it restrict the supply of foreign goods, no, which raises the prices domestically and providing protection for domestic producers, no. However, pwede rin siya magkaroon ng mga tension and if inefficiencies. Tension because possible na yun nga, no, kulang talaga sa supply, syempre, hindi naman kayang i-produce domestically. So, you know, there could be some tensions or even inefficiencies. So, for example, the European Union quotas on Chinese textile to protect the domestic textile industry. So, the next one is the subsidies and trade distortion. So, mag-focus muna tayo class sa subsidies. So, ito yung mga government payments, no, for domestic industries to reduce production costs, no. So, dahil nga nagsasubsidize sila, nagbibigay sila ng pera dun sa mga industry, nare-reduce natin yung production cost, no. Which of course, pag na-reduce yung production cost, syempre, mas lalaki yung kanilang profit. And of course, the types of subsidies are direct, no? Pwedeng tax incentive, babawasan yung taxes. Pwede sila magpa-loan on a low interest rate. At pwede rin government procurement. Si government yung bahalang magbigay ng mga supplies. Pagdating naman sa trade distortion, ito naman yung subsidies can distort trade by allowing domestic industries to sell products at the lower price, no, than foreign competitors, which lead to unfair competition and retaliatory measures from the trade partners. Siyempre, technically, no, yun nga, no, we have trade partners from other countries. Siyempre, baka mamaya is masyado naman ng hindi parang di na kumikita or di na nakakapasok yung kanilang products, no, dun sa domestic market. Syempre, magkakaroon yan ng tension na pwedeng they would do something, no, in other aspect perspective na makakaapekto dun sa trade, no. Pwedeng hindi dun sa product A, pwedeng related sa product B na mahina dun si kunyari si product A malakas si country A, no. So si country B dahil nga si country A nag-ano siya ng yun nga nung ganun, no, parang subsidized, which masyadong mababa yung price na wala na bumibili ng product A. Eh ngayon, si country B, meron siyang product B na hindi kayang gawin ni product A, ni country A. So, therefore, doon siya babawi. So, example is rather, agricultural subsidies provide the US and European Union, no, which has been criticized for distorting global agricultural market. So, yun yung nangyayari. The next one is yung major international trade agreements, which is the WTO, NAFTA, and EU. So first is the WTO or the World Trade Organization. So ang role nila is to oversee yung international trade rules, no? Kung may mga disputes or di pagkakaintindihan, sila din yung nag-manage nun at sila din yung nagpo-promote ng trade liberalization. So, ano bang impact no? It encourages multilateral trade negotiation at nare-reduce yung tinatawag nating trade barriers. So, ano naman yung trabaho ni NAFTA, no? North American Free Trade Agreement. So, ang itong NAFTA, no, isang trade agreement between the US, Canada, and Mexico. So, it's designed to reduce tariffs and trade barriers among these nations. So, itong tatlo na to, may mga products sila na mass produce. So, possible na kailangan nilang bawat isa, they are interdependent. That's why yung pag-reduce ng trade barriers is very important for these countries. So, anong impact, no? Yun, no? Nag-increase in trade and economic integration among the member countries which were placed by the UMSCA in the year 2020. So, pagdating naman sa EU, no? Yeah, no, it's a political and economic union that facilitates free trade and economic cooperation among European member states, no. Kung saan nagkakaroon sila ng mga customs union and single market na sila-sila lang yung nakikinabang. So, impact nito, syempre yung EU is one of the largest single markets in the world, promoting the free movement of goods, services, capital, and labor. So, nakakatulong yon sa iba't ibang aspeto na nasabi natin, which is goods, services, capital, and labor. Then, pagdating naman sa trade barriers and protectionism, ayan, no? Yung trade barriers kasi, ito yung parang measures ng government para magkaroon ng restrict sa import or export, no? Which is nasabi na natin, no? Which is the tariff, the quotas, and the non-tariff barriers like the regulation, no? Like the health and safety regulation, yung mga licensing, ganun. So, protectionism naman, ito naman yung, yun nga, no? Ito yung parang policy na nagre-restrict sa imports para protektahan yung domestic industries, no? At often, no, ito nga, yung tariff, quotas, and subsidies pa rin yung ginagamit. So, ano bang effects nito? No? Siyempre, mapoprotektahan, hindi lang yung industry, pero yung mga trabaho. Siyempre, yung mga industry na yun, may mga local employees nagtatrabaho dun. So, they are being protected, no? But may also lead to higher consumer prices and retaliatory trade measures from other countries. So, pwedeng on a short-term basis, ay maprotektahan, pero pwede ding possible na mag-retaliate yung ibang country. Example is the US-China trade war where both countries impose tariffs on each other's goods as part of the protectionist policies. So pagdating naman sa trade liberalization, no? So ano ba yung trade liberalization? Ito yung pag-remove or pag-reduce ng mga trade barriers, no? Such as tariff, quotas, no? Para magkaroon ng free trade among countries. So, ang impact nito, number one, ang positive nito is economic growth. Siyempre, nagkakaroon ng competition which lead to better product at nag-i-improve yung efficiency and lowers consumer prices. On a negative perspective, it can lead to job losses, siyempre, in certain industries. Siyempre, nagkakaroon ng inequality at nagkakaroon din ng mga environmental degradation. No? So, kumbaga, naapektuhan yung environment at nagkakaroon ng unfairness dun sa trade. So, example is the liberalization of trade in Asia-Pacific region through the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC. So, isang example yan. So, now let's talk about yung tinatawag nating non-tariff barriers to trade kung saan ito yung mga hindi ginagamitan ng tariff, no, such as the licensing, yung product standards, saka regulation and quotas. No? Ito yung mga ginagamit nilang mga barriers. So, ano ba yung mga types of NTBs? Una nga, yung technical barrier. Ito yung mga standard no, na kailangan sundin ng mga gustong mag-export sa isang bansa, katulad ng health, safety, environmental protection. Okay? Tapos, also, yung mga sanitary and phytosanitary measures. No? Ito yung nagpaprotect sa mga tao, sa mga animals, plants, no, and different, from different diseases, pests, or contaminants. Siyempre, meron tayong custom procedures na chine-check nung Bureau of Custom na, yun nga, kung sumusunod sila sa standards, which produces delay or restrict imports. So, ano bang impact ng NTB? Siyempre, nagkakaroon ng restrictive na measure than tariffs and often used as a form of protectionism. So, example dito is yung EU. Napaka-strict nila sa food safety. Grabe yun. And talaga nagre-restrict sila pagdating sa mga organisms. So, the next one is what we call the regional trade agreements and economic integration. So, dito naman, class, is yun nga, nagkakaroon ng RTAs kung saan yung mga countries no, is nag-agree sila na i-reduce yung mga tariffs, no, quotas, and other trade barriers. Nang sa ganun, makinabang yung mga member countries. On the other hand, no, ito yung mga types of RTAs. The first one is the free trade areas kung saan yung mga member ng countries na to, okay, countries member, yun nga, parang na-eliminate nila yung tariffs kaya siya free trade area. And also, nagkakaroon din tayong tinatawag na custom unions kung saan yung mga member countries is na-eliminate nila yung internal tariff at nagkakaroon sila ng common external tariff, no. So, kung saan, no, pag member ka nun, iba yung tariff mo, pero pag non-member ka, iba din yung tariff nila sa external. Also, there are some economic unions kung saan itong mga member countries nag-integrate sila economically and politically. Okay? So, ang common dito yung EU. Then, of course, no, ano bang impact nito? Siyempre, yung RTAs, nagpo-promote siya ng regional economic integration, nagtutulog yung mga member countries, at yun nga, no, parang ang nangyayari is, even the non-member countries can somehow, no, what you call this? Be benefited also from those, pero syempre, mas lamang yung mga member countries. Example of which is the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for the Trans-Pacific Partnership as a major RTA promoting trade in the Asia-Pacific region. And last, of course, is the trade policy and developing countries. So dito naman, class, is yun nga, nagkakaroon ng challenges for developing countries. So for example, is yung dependency. So nagiging reliant yung mga countries no on imports no kasi nga no parang limited range lang yung exports no, often commodities. And then of course, nagkakaroon din ng barriers to entry, no, na minsan nahihirapang mag-export yung ibang country to other country kasi nga mataas yung tariff at maraming mga non-tariff barriers. Siyempre, no, nagkakaroon din ng mga subsidies, so therefore nagkakaroon din ng distortion sa global markets, no, particularly in agricultural industry. So ano bang mga policy approaches dyan? Of course, we have this what we call trade preferences, kung saan gumagawa sila ng programs like this one, doon the General System of Preferences, kung saan yung mga developing countries, meron silang mga preferential access to developed markets. No? Nabibigyan sila ng priority over those preferences. And also capacity building kung saan yung assistance from international organization na tumutulong no sa mga development countries para ma-improve no yung trade infrastructure nila at yung pagiging competitive nila. And of course, example of which is the African Growth and Opportunity Act or the AGOA, which provides duty-free access to the US market for sub-Saharan African countries. So that's all, and thank you so much.